Breaking news, Donald Trump is trying to sign an executive order to end cashless bail. Now, I got the information from Ed Christine. I apologize, I said his name wrong. Breaking down, Trump will sign an executive order ending cashless bail with threats to revoke federal funding in lax jurisdictions. Now, this is literally Donald Trump blackmailing states to follow his rules. This isn't democracy, this is dictatorship, and it's also unconstitutional. Remember, Republicans always wanted states to have their own rights, big government to mind their own business. However, it seems under Donald Trump, they have forgotten this entire concept. Now, it's important to remember cashless bail, the reason why it was put in place in some areas is because, one, poor people typically can't afford bail. So they would literally sit and rot in jail up until they had a trial or a hearing where they could potentially get out on their own public reconnaissance or anything of that nature. Or they would just have to wait until the trial, hope that they won the trial, even if they were innocent, then they could get out of jail. That's unfair considering that sometimes it can take years before somebody could ever be able to actually get to trial. 2, this is a blatant attack specifically on black and brown people. Why? Because black and brown populations are typically the populations that are over-policed. And because of their over-policed, there typically are more black and brown people that get arrested and are later found innocent. People love to say, well, black and brown people make up the majority of arrests. Black and brown people also make up the majority of drop charges and overturns of convictions. Because guess what? They were either arrested illegally, they were either innocent the entire time, and so you give cashless bail. Why? So that these people don't have their entire life upended for years waiting for the chance to see a judge when they finally get to trial. Now, this is extremely important because at the same time he's doing this, he has National Guard inside Washington, D.C., a majority minority district. He's wanting to move to other majority minority areas: Chicago, LA, New York. He is being extremely strategic in what he's doing. We told y'all they had a Project 2025. They knew exactly what they were going to do when they got into office. And he's now putting that plan into action. And he's trying to connect it to federal funding, because guess what? If he's able to connect it to federal funding, then it's less likely for these areas to resist. Especially with him wanting to, as we all know, put the National Guard into Chicago as soon as possible. Now, remember, none of this is done in a vacuum. Donald Trump also knows he can possibly get away with this because guess what? There's no more nationwide injunctions. It's more of a catch me if you can system. So in areas that aren't going to go up against him on this, their citizens aren't going to have anybody to fight for them in this situation. But y'all tell me what y'all think about all this in the comments. And like I said, none of this is a coincidence. All of this is connected. He is going step by step through Project 2025 to get to his end goal, which is no election.